Hi everyone, I am Steve. Alien is one of the most famous science fiction film series in movie history. Alien has influenced a large number of sci-fi movie creations in the decades since its birth. Become the object of constant tribute and imitation. In this issue, we sort out the first 5 works of Alien. These 5 works span more than 30 years and involve 4 world-class directors. With the same ingredients, the 4 chefs have made works of different styles, which are worth discussing. The first and 4th Alien story is in chronological order. But Prometheus is a prequel to the Alien series. I will tell you in the order in which the movies are in theaters. As for Alien vs. Predator, which has nothing to do with the main story, we will not discuss it. Let us begin. Director Ridley Scott. Alien, 1979 work. Director Ridley Scott was not interested in science fiction movies. But after seeing a story about aliens invading the human body written by Obram, he was attracted by the terrifying and mysterious atmosphere, and finally took the work. The beginning of the film is a quiet and vast space. A spacecraft loaded with 20 million tons of ore is on its way back to the Earth. Next, the camera slowly patrols the interior of the spacecraft, just like examining a person's body with a microscope, and the blood vessels and organs are all visible. The camera entered the dormant room, and the 7 crew members were sleeping. At this time, the preset time came, and crew members woke up one after another. The lights in this scene deal with the extraordinary warmth. They are like babies waking up in the arms of mother. What follows is a few people at the dinner table. Every line here seems like small talk, but it is actually a hint of the character's character. At this time, the spacecraft suddenly received a strange signal.
Intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out.
A transmission? Out here?
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission?
Acoustical beacon that repeats at intervals of 12 seconds.
SOS?
I don't know.
Human?
Unknown.
The crew disagreed on whether to go to rescue. The 2 ordinary crew members do not support adventure, but the knowledgeable and educated senior crew members adhere to rescue them. They forget that here is space full of unknowns. They finally came to the planet that sent the signal and found a strange spaceship that looked like a donut. There is a huge skeleton and a bunch of weird eggs. A crew member named Kane walked over to check. He was attacked by strange creatures hatched from egg. The attacked Kane did not die, but was hugged by an octopus-shaped creature. When they tried to cut off the biological tentacles, they found that its blood was extremely corrosive.
That crap can eat through the hull.
The alien larva fell off when everyone was at a loss. Kane seemed to be healthy again. He talked and laughed. Just when everyone thought everything was okay, Kane was suddenly distorted in pain. The next scene scared everyone to pee.
No, no, no! Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
At this time, more than an hour has passed since the film started. The aliens just appeared for the first time. Director Scott used the rhythm of the movie to attract the attention of the audience. What is this creature, what abilities it has, and everything feels terrifying and unfamiliar. There are also crises within the crew. A crew member named Aish was a robot. He knew the danger of aliens, but the company ordered him to bring them back. Company want to make aliens as a weapon, everyone else can be sacrificed. What the robot says is the most important theme of the film.
What about our lives, you son of a bitch?
I repeat, all other priorities are ascended.
Bullshit.
You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
You admire it.
I admire its purity. to blind them. Wearing clothing like conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality.
Explaining the killing ability of aliens, and human beings have advocated force for thousands of years. Humans are eager and afraid of this kind of power, so aliens was set into monsters that come out through chests. They are extremely capable of growth. But at the same time, human beings also arrogantly think that it can be controlled like a tool. Aliens' first step achieved unprecedented success. At a cost of $11 million, the world won $190 million in box office. Director Ridley Scott's contribution is a great contribution. He did not focus on the monsters, in fact the monsters appeared for less than 2 minutes. But it creates a huge sense of horror for the audience, and Scott is a master of creating atmosphere. Another important person is the designer of the alien. Swiss artist H.R. Giger, who incorporated genital simulation and mechanical feeling into the alien design, created this cruel and terrible monster. He won the Oscar for Best Visual Design for this design. Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, also became the first heroine in film history because of this film. Ripley solved the alien and lay in the rescue capsule, but it didn't end. Director James Cameron, Alien 2, 1986 works. After 7 years, Alien released the second part, and the director was the famous James Cameron. Cameron did not continue the style set by Scott. And he is very good at making commercial entertainment movies, so Alien 2 was made into an action gunfight movie. The beginning of the film continues the previous episode, when Ripley's rescue capsule was discovered by a human rescue spacecraft. When Ripley woke up, she found that she had been asleep for 57 years. In more than half a century, her daughter on Earth has passed away and she has become a lonely. This plot is very cleverly, which paved the way for the relationship between she and the little girl Newt. The people in the company do not believe Ripley's statement about aliens, because humans have been living on the planet where aliens were discovered for 20 years. Ripley was fired as a liar. At this time came the news that the planet found an alien spacecraft. But overnight it seemed that all the people on the planet had disappeared. At this time, humans formed a Special Forces rescue team to check what happened. Ripley also joined the team after struggling. From then on, the Alien 2 has been completely separated from the first part. At the beginning, the soldiers in the rescue team did not realize the horror of the alien. Even though Ripley reminded them many times, they still felt that they were only here to kill the insects and didn't know how powerful it was until the alien appeared. Compared with the mystery of Alien 1, this movie is more intuitive, more entertaining, and filled with a strong heroic atmosphere. By choice of the director, it is also related to the development of the plot. After the Alien 1, the audience is no longer unfamiliar with this monster, and then it naturally becomes a confrontation. In the first episode, the crew used fire-breathing guns. In this episode Cameron moved almost the entire arsenal. Those who don't know will think he is shooting Terminator 2. Of course, Cameron doesn't only shoot fierce explosion scenes, he is also a good storyteller. He implanted Ripley and the little girl's affection, Ripley and the soldiers' love, and the brotherhood between rescue team. It also includes the plot of the fight against the evil senior executives of the company. So much content was put together, but Cameron disassembled them clearly. Especially the line with the little girl strongly promoted the establishment of Ripley's heroine image. The whole script adopts a 3-step design, which is exceptionally clear and smooth. This film can be used as a textbook for commercial films. There is also a great improvement in the alien design. Increased scenes where aliens appear, but also a bigger and more ruthless alien queen. Cameron continues to show his love for machinery in this play. In the final battle with the alien queen, Ripley operates a robot designed by Cameron, which is extremely powerful.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Nowadays, most movies are produced by CG post-production, although they are more exquisite, but the rough and fierce mechanical power is gone. 6 seconds before the end of the movie, an terrifying voice appeared in the background sound, which paved the way for the next story. Director David Fincher. Alien 3. 1992 works. This is the film debut of director David Fincher. The first one was such a big IP, the pressure was not small. David Fincher added a unique religious element to this movie. Basically get rid of the movie routines of fighting monsters. In the Alien 1, Ripley, Newt, and Hicks escaped from the flight path and landed on a forgotten planet. There were more than 20 exiled criminals living here, and the lifeboat fell into the sea. Newt and Hicks were killed on the spot. Ripley was covered with mud. That was very different from the heroines. When she was carried on the stretcher, the angle of the camera, the posture of the characters and the lighting effect were like a crucified Jesus. This solemn sense of religion fills the entire movie. Although humans can already travel in space, this is like prehistoric times. These criminals are still using cattle to assist in labor, just like high-tech primitives. They are completely forgotten by world, and only religion can give them some reason to live. The design of this conference room is reminiscent of the religious inquisition in the Middle Ages. Alien also followed Ripley's spacecraft to this planet, and it was parasitic on a cow. Need to insert a sentence here. Alien can choose any creature as the host, through the fusion of DNA to multiply. In this episode, only one alien appeared. David Fincher didn't even want to win by the scene. The stage where the alien was born is the most exciting scene. Through cross-editing, Fincher created a strong tension. One side is the death of life, and the other side is the birth of new life.
For within each seed, there is a promise of a flower. And within each death, no matter how small, there's always a new life. A new beginning. Amen.
These prisoners are waiting for the savior, but a devil. Fincher repeatedly switched back and forth between humanity and religion. This is also the reason why the audience reflects that the film is somewhat complicated and disorderly. Alien 3 also made a big innovation in the plot. He made Ripley the heroine become the host of Alien. The alien queen's bred in her stomach, which made people very desperate.
It won't kill me. I'm carrying a queen. It won't kill its future.
Ripley, who lost everything in the end, no longer believes in anyone. She knows that those humans who have not seen the power of aliens always want to have aliens. So she chose to jump into the hot melting furnace and die with the alien queen. This ending is surprisingly similar to Terminator 2, although Ripley did not say the governor's phrase "I will be back." But she returned after 5 years. This Alien 3 is not a very mature work for David Fincher. Because he was only 29 years old at the time, and he did not have enough autonomy. Directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Alien 4. Works in 1997. Alien started again after 5 years. This time they invited the French director Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who later guided The Emelient in a very long engagement. The temperament and core of the whole movie have changed again. All the aliens in this movie are made by computers. In view of the death of the heroine Ripley in the third part, the beginning of the movie will give a reason for her to appear again. 200 years have passed, and the human scientist recall of Ripley with the alien queen. So they got her biological sample and cloned it, and Aunt Ripley came back. Although I think it's hard to understand that even the small alien in her belly can be cloned. The scientists removed the alien queen from Ripley's body. They wanted to tame the aliens into obedient killers, and at this time a gang of bounty hunters came. They took some living people and sold them to scientists. They didn't know that these people were going to be used as hosts for incubating aliens. Human domestication work seemed very effective, similar to training cats and dogs. The human ambitions before only appeared as the background of a conspiracy theory. And in this one really came to the front of the scene. But scientists underestimated the IQ of aliens. They are smarter than cats and dogs. They know how to use their own advantages. They killed a companion and escaped by using the super corrosiveness of blood. Compared to the slow-paced Alien 3, this drama has a plot turning point every 30 minutes, which makes the film's rhythm very fast. Although the fighting scene is not as grand as Cameron, it also has quite fresh content. For example, let the alien into the water for the first time. The fight in the water was very exciting and it took 3 weeks to complete. The two protagonists almost drowned in the process. There are 2 more conspicuous innovations in this 4th installment. Ripley, as the mother of aliens, is infected with evil temperament. And she is a copy, which makes her self-identification contradictory. But in the end she became a heroine again, a bit too suddenly. Second, the new alien has humanity. The alien becomes a viviparous and has evolved eyes, and the figure is closer to humans. The new alien killed the alien queen, but regarded Ripley as his mother. When he and Ripley look at each other, it looks more like a baby's eyes. However, this alien baby died miserably. He was drained by the air pressure piece by piece, and when he was in pain, Ripley also felt the guilt of being a mother. Aunt Ripley has gone through more than 200 years and finally returned to Earth at this time. But the Earth does not seem to be that ideal home. Director Ridley Scott. Prometheus. Works in 2012. The audience still has a lot of doubts about the alien. For example, how did Alien come from? Who made it? What is its mission? These unsolved mysteries are waiting to be revealed in the prequel works. In 2012, he shot Prometheus, the prequel to the Alien series. This movie not only discusses how aliens came from, but also discusses the origin of our humans. Prometheus, a character in Greek mythology, once helped humans steal fire, but was punished with eternal pain. He is a sacrificial rebel. The film's title has multiple meanings. A person called a Space Knight came to the Earth and created mankind with his own genes. People discover the planet of Space Knights through ancient murals. A couple of scientists firmly believe that the secrets of human origin are stored there. They regard this as an invitation from aliens. They persuaded the boss of the company to support their plan. So they set off with a dozen crew members, and they came to the planet in Alien 1 that sent a distress signal. The spaceship that resembles a donut appears again, and the plot here is connected to the Alien 1. Of course everyone didn't know that he was a spaceship at first, they thought it was a cave. Alien are a deadly weapon made by Space Knights. The initial form is just a black liquid. This liquid will be activated when encountering small changes in the environment, and then attached to any biological host. Thousands of years ago, the Space Knight wanted to use this weapon to destroy mankind, but an accident happened. The Space Knight was destroyed by the regiment first. At this time, humans ran to this planet. Prometheus is filled with a pessimistic atmosphere. The human race is destined to be destroyed, either by being actively destroyed by people, or by their own ambitions. Here is a typical character, the company boss who is about to come to the end of his life. He wants to find the creator and save his aging body.
You convinced me. If these things made us, then surely they could save us. They'll save me, anyway.
Save you from what?
Death, of course.
This is human delusion. The first protagonist of this movie is not actually human. It's the cyborg David. There are cyborg roles in Alien 1 and Alien 2. Ash in the first part is considered a villain, but he is only obedient to the company's orders. The Bishop in the Alien 2 was the most loyal companion of mankind. The woman making human beings in Alien 4 was a positive role. But in this movie, David completely rebelled. He has an independent will and wants to replace human beings mentally and physically.
I suppose I'd be free.
You want that?
Want? Not a concept I'm familiar with. That being said, doesn't everyone want their parents dead?
There is a similar relationship between humans and Space Knights, and between humans and cyborgs. Space Knights created humans, humans began to resist, humans created robots, and robots began to resist. This is also the subject of Ridley Scott's discussion from Blade Runner. In the last of the film, the first generation of aliens appeared, and it was a combination between the Space Knight and the original body. Waiting for the coming of mankind again after a few years. Okay, that's all for today's commentary. If you like my video, please don't forget subscribe and share. See you tomorrow.